Now, this is a massive episode. It's crunch time. This is a must win, and it's not in our hands. If you haven't seen the last episode, spoiler warning, the Brazilian Grand Prix, go check it out. Go get up to speed to see what happened in the last race. But this race is Jeddah, the penultimate race of the season, and our last chance. If we want to fight for the championship, we need a miracle around this race. As you can see, last race, it was the MGUK which failed on our car. So, we're going to take the newest possible components that we have available, and we're going to go full send and give it absolutely everything this weekend. I went ahead and renewed sponsorships with multiple sponsors, and they're going to stay on with the team. But yeah, going back quickly on the previous race, yeah, Brazil, it was a painful one because the race was going so well. We just got into the lead, we just done our pit stop, and we was going to the end in P1, and then we had the engine failure. So because of that, the gap between us and Max Verstappen with 2 races remaining is 48 points. Essentially 2 race wins, and obviously fastest laps can play a part as well. Now, for us to have a chance, and I mean a slim chance in the final race to win the championship, we need Max to DNF this weekend. That's the only way realistically we get any chance, or he finishes P10 or P9. So yeah, we're gonna do our part, and that means winning the race. We're gonna try and do the best we can. First of all, qualifying, and you joined me at the end of my first push lap, which admittedly was a bit of a scruffy one, I'm not gonna lie. This is my strongest track on the game, offline and online. I feel really comfortable around here. I really like this track. I really enjoy it. And our first lap gives us P4, which isn't too bad, but it was actually a whole 6/10 off P1. So I thought, okay, I've got enough fuel. I'll go for one more just to be safe, because I wasn't fully comfortable with that lap. So into the first chicane, we're going to brake at the 100 down to 3rd, flick it left and right. Easy on the traction on exit as you power down into 3 and 4. Blind left-hander followed by a long right, carrying the speed through here. You can see how much we've gained through the delta as we make our way through the S section. Bit of a correction there as we keep it all within track limits, nice and tidy, and then concluding sector 1 there, and we're already 3.5 tenths up, purple in the first sector. Down into, I believe, turn 9, I think this is, or turn 10, the left-hand kind of hairpin stadium section. Nice and tight, and then let it run wide on exit as we brush the wall, and we're already half a second up. This is a much stronger second lap. Right, left, through the flick over. Easy does it, don't get too close to the wall on the exit, and then flat out again here along the back straight. Prepare the next brake zone, which is a bit of just a little tap on the brake down a 6th gear, and then turn in blind through the left. Use all the curb here as we go underneath the hotel, and then once again back on the power with DRS open for a solid 5 to 10 seconds as we prepare the final corner. Spot the braking, the right hand side, about the 50 meter board, maybe 60 meters more or less. This time going in a lot earlier and not running wide, and then cleaning up the exit as we open a DRS and we improve by 7.5 tenths, and that is going to put us on a 23.2 and move us straight up to the top of the timesheets into P1 and setting the pace early on. So, job done in the first part of qualifying. Car working well, pace looking decent. Michael down in P11. We are 2 tenths clear from Max Verstappen, and so far, so good. Obviously, we're going to see, daylight begin to fade, and we're going to transition into the night time. So we'll see how that, potentially could affect tyre performance. Q2 though, you join me midway through my lap, and about 8.5 minutes to go. We've given ourselves plenty of time in case we have to go out again. That last lap in Q1 gave me a lot more confidence in terms of, pushing and getting close to the walls. So I know kind of where the limit is now. Into the final corner, you can see here, we're going to do a nice job there of getting a pretty decent exit, opening up the DRS, and we did a 23.2 in Q1 as a reference, and we're going to do the exact same lap time again in Q2, and that is going to move us straight up to P1 already. So at this point, I kind of realized, yeah, we don't have to go out again. We're pretty comfortable, and no need to use another set of tyres. So Q2, just as comfortable as Q1, if not more comfortable, because we've done it on 1 lap. And unfortunately, Michael Schumacher is out in P11. Not ideal. Something that I think we need to address moving forward. Max P2, a bit slower than Q1, but still, comfortably faster than the rest of the pack, Max Verstappen. So, yeah, we move it to Q3 then. My best lap was the first run. So, We're going to sit back, enjoy this lap, and this one is going to be a nice little engine sound lap pro change. We haven't done that in a while, so hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'll get back to you when the lap is finished. And there we go, across the line, 23.0. The benchmark has been laid out. We went back to the pits, and unfortunately, we have underbody damage, floor damage from pushing. And the timing means we're not going to get out again for another run this session.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
So hopefully, that first lap is enough. Because we are not going to... Because we're not getting out again, we don't have the time, and luckily, it was enough. Max did get close, 23.1, only a tenth off. He found 4 tenths compared to Q2, so Max was saving a bit of lap time up his sleeve, but crucially, not close enough. So, yeah, very happy with that. And pole position for us in Jeddah, the car working beautifully. I think the lap kind of proved that, to be fair. I felt really in the zone around here, and this is one of my stronger tracks, if not my strongest track of the entire season. So that's it for qualifying. We're on pole. We've done our bit. Max on the front row alongside. We need him to DNF or something to happen to him for us to have a chance in the championship. So let's get into the race and let's see what happens.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Martinez lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Bottas, Russell, Gasly, Ricciardo and Michael Schumacher, Ocon, Tsunoda, Nicholas Latifi and Stroll, Sainz. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Giovinazzi, Christian Lundgaard, and Mick Schumacher. Eilert, Schwartzman, Mazepin, and Nobuharu Matsushita. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Well, here we are then, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Realistically, there's not much we can do here. I can win the race, but it's not in my hands. We need Max to realistically DNF. That's the only way I think we have a chance, or if he scores like 1 or 2 points, finishes P10 or P9. So we need a bit of a crazy race, maybe a safety car or something, and Red Bull try a strategy with Max, it backfires. Something, we need something, because the gap right now is 48 points between us. So yeah, not forgetting we are racing Sergio Perez as well, of course, in the battle for second. We're third in the championship right now, about 20 points behind Sergio. Even that's going to be a tall mountain to climb, but still, in regards to the championship, mathematically we still have a chance, and of course fastest laps will also play a part. I'm going to try my hardest to make sure I can get the point in this race. Now, pace-wise, we are very strong here. This is probably my strongest track on the game, online and offline, so I'm looking to just clean up basically and get the 26 points. That's all I want. After that, we'll see what Max does, but realistically, we need him to have a bad race. He hasn't retired in a while, to be fair. Now would be a great time for it. To be fair, it's the only time for it. We need Max to have a DNF. That'd be the ideal scenario. Strategy-wise, soft medium, fuel on minimum. Not much to really, be surprised about here. So, yeah, let's jump into it and let's pray for a miracle and let's see if at the end of this race we still have a chance heading into Abu Dhabi. Right, here we go. Let's try and get a nice clean start. The lights are on. And we're underway. Max got an absolute flyer off the line. To be fair, he's going to go down the inside. We're going to fight back, though, around the outside and reclaim P1. Not going to have that. Norris P3, Perez now P3 as he makes the move. Let's see what kind of pace we have. It should be fine. Our race pace is usually pretty strong, especially in this first sector. It seems like we're very competitive. Again, tyre overheating is going to be the key factor for us, and in terms of what our performance could be like. So we'll try and keep an eye on things. So far, a decent start. Perez P3, not ideal. We just need a bit of chaos, man. A bit of organised chaos. A safety car, who knows? So basically the strategies are forced to get a bit mixed up, and drivers have to, do stuff that's unorthodox to them. So yeah, I'm confident in my own ability and my own pace. I think tyre overheating is going to be manageable here because of the long straights. We may overheat at times, especially end of sector 1, but the tyres will get a chance to cool off through this kind of part of the track. So yeah, I'm going to do my bit. I'll do what I can, and we're going to be relying on other factors, external factors, to give us a chance and try and ruin Verstappen's race.
Green flag.
We've got a yellow flag further back, I think. Someone's had an issue. I'm trying to break Verstappen's DRS. Front and right is overheating. Already struggling, and I'm catching under braking, which is not helping. I think we've got enough pace here to break Max's DRS.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
I think once we get through this first chicane, we should have the gap to Max. And there we go. 1.2 seconds. Let's keep pushing. Well, Max has got himself back into DRS. Fair play. So this isn't going to be a straightforward race. Max is going to make it difficult. He's going to try and fight back here. So let's see. Could be an interesting race, this one. Ocon, by the way, was the car that retired. Took a while for the retirement to come through.
We're in danger of running out of fuel before the end of the race. Start being a little conservative with the remaining fuel, please.
That'll be fine, Jeff. Don't worry about it. I'm also just dropping my pace a little bit, trying to manage the front right, which is the one that's getting a bit hot around here. Max is pretty close here. He might actually get the run. He's going to go to the outside into turn 1. We're not letting him by there. We're going to just cut him off straight away. We're not having none of that. Absolutely none of that. No threat. I'm pretty calm. I can keep Max behind and I can probably re-overtake him easily. So, this isn't the threat, this race. I can win this race. It's just, I'm trying to see if I can make something happen.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Copy.
We'll keep the current strategy. I don't want to give away track position to Verstappen, and I want to make sure that maybe we can even pull away actually by pitting a bit earlier. Here comes Max. He's going to get a pretty decent run on us here. I'll let him choose. He can go to the inside, or I can go to the inside. He gets ahead, fair enough. We're now going to get the DRS, so we'll just quickly re-overtake him. This is going to be the story of the race until we pit, because I can't manage these tyres in terms of temperature. Up the inside we go into turn 1. Verstappen this time keeping his nose in, but we can get the drive out there and get back ahead for now. But this isn't over yet. Max will keep fighting. Max is just dropping off here. He's not quite able to keep up with me. Gap back over a second. I don't think he got wing damage, but I could be wrong. He's out of DRS range and he's dropping back quite quickly. Let's keep an eye on this. Maybe an issue for Max, not quite sure. Bit of a lock up there into the final corner. I've overheated the right front. Yeah, Max is dropping back a bit here. Well, I don't know what happened to Max, but he can't really match the pace anymore. So that little battle was going to be the end of it. My pace is a bit better now. I've managed to find a way to get a bit more out of the left side tyres through the right-handers to kind of compensate for lap time. Meanwhile, there's a massive battle going off for P3 between Perez, Norris and Bottas and all the cars in that train. You can see on the minimap they're all together on track, so that's ongoing. Perez could be in for a long race, and you never know, an incident could happen, could trigger a safety car or something crazy, so that's always a possibility. For now though, we're in control as we get our first warning. Let's just keep it ticking over, pace is decent. I think we're going to extend by one more. I'm starting to build a bit of a gap to Max to the point where I'm probably safe from an undercut at this point for one more lap, if Max even pits this lap, so we'll go for one more. Also because that train of cars that Perez is holding up with the Mercedes, that could play a factor here in this race. There's another train a bit further back as well, so you know, this could get interesting. Let's see then, Max does pit, so we're probably going to pit this lap then to respond, unless I see on the mini-map that Max is in traffic. In that case we'll stay out a bit longer. Right, we're going to box this lap. I can see Verstappen has rejoined in clean air, just ahead of a little AlphaTauri train, which is not ideal. So we're going to box, play it safe, and
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
yeah, the right, Jeff, we're going to sort that out right now. Let's box then for the mediums. We should be even stronger on these tyres. Let's not speed and keep it within the white lines. There we go. Pretty safe pit entry. I don't think there's a massive threat to an undercut, but you never know, we could be surprised. The pit exit will favour us though. Let's see. We should be okay. If it's a decent stop, that is. It's a great stop.
Michael is in the pits. Michael in the pits. Go, go, go. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
2 seconds flat. Michael pits, but you shouldn't lose time. And we're comfortably out ahead of Max. You can see there, we've actually kept the gap exactly the same. So, right, we've done our bit. Pit stops are done now. Max is still P2. This isn't ideal, but it's the best we can do. So, let's see how this all shakes out. Right, this is my fastest lap attempt. I might try later on once the fuel burns off, but this is my actual, you know, serious lap here out of the RS, but it's a 25.1. There we go. We'll see if that secures the extra point. Hopefully it does. Gap to Max now 3.8, so he's no longer competition. We're just going to cruise it home now. If anything happens, that would be great.
Some information on Verstappen. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Oh my god. Okay, we've just got a second warning for track limits, but that is it. Max has a car issue. Okay, this could be it. Let's hope it's a bad one and it's going to last the rest of the race. If it does, okay, this might be an opportunity. I think Max has a massive lead over the rest of the field, which is not ideal, but at least we've got a chance. You can see the delta going up now. Max is losing a lot of time, so we'll see how this goes. This could be the golden opportunity, especially once Max falls into that pack of cars. Things could go crazy. Okay, Max is really starting to lose time now. He's closer to Perez than what he is to me. We'll see how this goes, but we may have a chance. I hope these issues persist until the end of the race, especially once the AI turn their engines up for the final 2 laps. Max might start to really drop. All I can hope for is that when he drops through the pack, when the AI try to overtake him, there's contact and carnage happens. That's our only hope really here, because I would say Max is not losing enough to finish any lower than P5, which is not ideal. Bottas and Perez are going side by side and they're losing time. This is not helping the situation. They are literally bleeding a second per sector going side by side through the first sector. Look at that, the gap's gone back up. Oh, this is not ideal. Mercedes, stop getting involved. I don't think they're going to catch. They're battling again and losing time. I mean, I'm not even pushing, I'm just coasting. I'm trying to make sure that we make it and also limit the wear on the engine, but I'm just watching the delta, that's what I'm doing. Max is bleeding so much time, but the AI are not catching. 3 laps to go. This is going to go down to the wire because the gap now is less than 4 seconds between Max and Perez. It's starting to really get close now, and also the pack behind Perez, Bottas and Norris are closing back up. They're all on the pit straight right now. It all depends how much the AI gain by going full power.
3 laps of fuel remaining.
Yep, don't worry Jeff, fuel's not going to be an issue. We're just coasting now. I'm literally just watching the deltas. Also I'm on 2 warnings as well, so I'm just avoiding getting that penalty. I think Max has got going again. I think Max is back on pace. He's gained about a second on me. Yeah, I think Max is pushing again. I think his car's fixed. Oh, there we go. That's game over then in that case. Yeah, look at the delta. He's just catching like crazy on me now. Yellow in the second sector. We've lost Lando Norris. Yeah, that's it. Max is back up to full speed now. You can see he's catching like crazy. Right. Well, that's that then. Well, there we go then. end of the race. Unfortunately, it's not going to be our day. We are going to win, and I think get the fastest lap, but Max Verstappen is going to be the one who takes the glory, as he's going to win the championship. We'll gain 10 points on Perez, well 11 points on Perez in the battle for second, but doesn't really matter really. Max wins the championship and we win the race here in Jeddah.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
It's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. And that brings the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to a close then, as we reflect on the team's impressive performance today. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Well, there we go then. Confirmation, race win, fastest lap. We did the best we could. A bit of a late bit of drama with Verstappen's car issues, but Perez, Bottas and Norris all lost way too much time battling, and there was at least 5 or 6 laps in that race where they went side by side through the first sector and probably lost about a second each time. So yeah, had that not happened, they maybe could have probably passed Verstappen and Max would have been in traffic, and you never know what could happen in those scenarios, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, and yeah, that's it. So Verstappen is champion once again. Fair play. For our race though, we pick up the win ahead of course, the 2 Red Bulls, Bottas P4, Gasly P5, and then Russell, Leclerc, and then Michael Schumacher P8 in the points. Makes a change, but still not ideal. Ricciardo P9 and Latifi 10th running out the points, and then missing out on them we have Tsunoda, Sainz, Lundgaard, Stroll, Matsushita, Ilott, Giovinazzi, Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, Schwartzman, and then Lando and Ocon retiring from the race. So standings wise, the gap between us and Perez is 8 points heading into the finale. So the battle for second is on, and a win and a fastest lap would get the job done for us in Abu Dhabi. In the constructors, we're pretty safe now. Second place, I'd say, is pretty much wrapped up. But yeah, pretty much Red Bull have double points, which is crazy. Red Bull are so strong, it's not even funny how powerful they are. But yeah, we're going to have to try and combat that maybe next season if we continue. So yeah, that is it for the race at Jeddah. We tried. We didn't achieve it, but we won the race, and that's what matters. So leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more. We go again in Abu Dhabi in the finale. We'll try and do the best we can, get that second place and end on a high. And yeah, that is it, guys, for the race in Saudi Arabia. As always, a massive thank you to the channel members for supporting the content. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's try and help me on the way to 100k if possible on the sub count. Finally, check out the 2 videos on your screen if you haven't seen them already. But that is it from me here today, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.